Hi, my name is Juan. I'm gonna work with to do the limit when x goes to 3 of the absolute value of x minus 3. Now, we can work this in an analytical way, and we can use the definition of the absolute value as a piecewise function. So right here we are saying that the absolute value when x of x minus 3 is going to be x minus 3 as long what is inside of the absolute value is greater than 0. Greater or equals to 0. And then I'm going to use the negative, I'm going to multiply the inside of the absolute value by a negative as long what is inside the absolute value is less than 0. What this means in terms of x is as long x is greater or equals to 3, we're going to use x minus 3, and as long x is less than 3, we're going to use minus x minus 3. Okay, so now by looking at that, if I look this problem, limit when x approaches to 3 of my absolute value, I see from the graph that I approach both ways. But now I approach in two different graphs, two different functions given from my piecewise function. So I will say that this limit, in order to exist, if my limits when I approach x from the right of the absolute value is equal to the limit when x goes to 3 from the left side of my absolute value, then I can say that this limit exists, and that limit, then this limit will be equals to my answers from these two limits, from both sides. Now I need to work with this limit as x approaches to 3 from the right. So now if I come back to my piecewise functions, I know that I'm approaching x from the right, what means that my x is going to be greater than 3. So I'm going to work with this function here. So I can say that this is equal as the limit when x approaches to 3 from the right of x minus 3. And now, just by evaluating this limit, I just can plug it in the 3 in there, and I know this is approaching to 0. So now I know that my limit when x goes to 3 from the right side of the absolute value is equal to 0. So now I'm going to do the same thing from the left side. So I'm going to evaluate the limit when x approaches to 3 from the left side of the absolute value of x minus 3. Now if I look at my piecewise function, I see that my x is going to be less than 3. So I need now to work with this function, right? So now I can say that this is equal to the limit of x going to 3 from the left of minus x minus 3. Now, by just evaluating this limit, we just can plug it in the value for x, and we get that this is going to be 0. So now from here, I can see that both limits are equal to each other. So this condition here applies. Now, given that that condition applies, I can say that from these two things, I can say that my limit as x approaches to 3 of the absolute value of x minus 3 is equal to 0.